Well, hello, happy Thursday, and welcome to Elegant Sentiments today. I'm Cheryl Abernathy, the owner of Elegant Sentiments, and today this is our weekly card share number 49. So thank you so much for joining. As you can see here, I do have some Lisa Horton products that I'm going to be crafting with this evening. These are products that Lisa designed for Spellbinders. This is her Christmas release with Spellbinders, and these products should be available beginning in September. I don't know the exact date in September, but these products were also, some of these were used during her special class that she had last weekend. But if you missed it, don't worry, you'll be able to get these products next month. So the first product that we're going to be using is the Festive Ornaments. Okay, thanks, Tisha. I'm glad you can hear. I was really concerned. I had some problems with last week's video and want to make sure I didn't have any hiccups this week. And we're also going to be using the Essential Tags accessories. This is a press plate and die. So there's lots of little press plates. We're going to use this little bow and this corner piece and a sentiment for our card today from this set. And then the last thing that we're using is the nested tree frame dies. We're going to use the frame in this large rectangle in today's project. And we're going to also be doing some hot foiling. So we're going to use some Glimmer Hot Foil. This is matte gold. So these are the core products that we're going to use for today's project. And here is the project. And let's see, it's you can see these, it's foiled here and here, and then our sentiment is foiled as well. I trying to get it so you can see it without the, well, you can see it's pretty and shiny. And then we use some glimmer paper that I had. This is from Stampin' Up, I do believe. And the gold paper is from Spellbinders. This is their brushed gold paper. So that is our project. And I'll put that, well, where can I put this? So put it over here, maybe. So you can see it as we move along. And I'm going to bring in my Glimmer Hot Foil as soon as I get things set up. I did do some prep work ahead of time. We've got an A2 card base already done, and that's there. I've got a scrap that we're going to use for the bow. I die cut the rectangle from the tree. So this is this rectangle. I die cut that in white cardstock. And then out of the glimmer stock, I cut this. I just used the plain circle, and then this little piece for the string for the ornament. And I just cut that out of green glimmer. And then this I die cut using the large die here. And I cut that out of that brushed gold cardstock. And then I put some foam tape on the back so that we'll mount it up. And then this is a panel that I cut, embossed using, this is a Stampin' Up embossing folder called Tasteful Textile. It's no longer on their line, but it's one of my favorites, so I use it quite a bit even still. So those are the prep work that I've done. So now all we really need to do is do the hot foiling on this piece, and then hot foil our as soon as I find that little piece, here it is, and then we'll hot foil our bow and die cut it. So we'll need this, and we'll need our foil. So let's go ahead and hot foil the little corner decoration first. What looks like the little pieces of holly leaf. And what I'm going to do is take my foil and cut a piece. There we go. Get that open. And basically what I want to do, which way do I want this to go on my panel? I think I want it to go this way. So we're going to do, I don't know what you call it, but it'll flip over. So we're going to put I'm just going to put this piece of foil up, and I'll take I have a little foil cutter from Spellbinders that I use. I'm cutting on a cutting mat, so I don't have to worry about that. But I want to leave enough so that I can tape this down onto my project. And we'll cut some of this extra off because we don't need all of this. And we'll be able to use this for something else later. So just kind of cut some of this excess foil away. Get that out of the way. Okay, so what I want is for this to go up against the stitching. I don't really want it to cover the stitching. So it's okay if the foil goes over, but I want to make sure that when I'm doing this that the stitching doesn't go over. Or the this little you know the word I'm trying to say. The holly plate doesn't go over the stitched line. So I kind of take a little peek and put it over where it needs to be, and I can see from the top if it's over or not. And it doesn't have to be exact, but I really just don't want it on the stitching. And so what we're going to do is take some tape and we'll tape this piece down. And when you're foiling, you always want to make sure that the shiny side is pointing towards the decorative. Oops, I didn't mean to I did not intend to take that to my thing, so I'm gonna have to redo this here. Give me a second. Here we go, one more time. Let's see where this is first. Okay, that looks about right. Okay, I think I'll go this way just to be a little safe. And I'm going to bring in my hot foil system. It's been heating up. The platform isn't quite ready yet, but let's get this. Hopefully I can get it in the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way because we don't need that right now. And let's see, can I get that up? Yeah, I can get it up far enough. And so I don't know if you can see, the red light is on and I'm waiting for the platform to be ready. So we've got our green light on our platform. And then the next thing we'll go ahead and put our pieces down and foil them. And we'll push that timer button and it will blink for a minute or two as it begins to melt the foil onto the plate. And once that timer goes off, you can do it a couple of different ways. Some people put their sandwich on and then take it off. I tend to take it off first and then add my sandwich just to minimize any shifting of the images and the paper, because that's really the only thing you have to really look out for with foiling. And when you foil, you want to make sure that you're using a nice smooth paper. Doesn't matter what kind, but it does need to be really smooth. And so our timer is off, and I'll just pull this out, put my sandwich on, and I will be off camera for just a second as I run this through, just as it is, through my die cutting machine. Bring this back, take our plates away. And then here's our bow. You see that? And here is our, now for this, I need to be very careful because I don't want to pull my paper. And there is our holly. So these are, they're hot, but they're not that hot. You can touch them, and don't, unless it's one of the bigger plates, you don't really run much of a risk of burning yourself. So we got that done and out of the way. Finally, thank you for bearing with me. I apologize for that lengthy delay. And so now we're all set to put our pieces together. We do want to die cut our bow. So I'm going to put my plates back, my die cutting plates back in my die cutting machine, and we'll take the coordinating die for this bow and just pop that on there. I use a little bit of tape. Since it's such a teeny little guy, I don't want it to move around in the machine. Once I get it, that looks about right. Just put a piece of tape over it. Try not to get it on the actual foil, because that tape will actually remove some of the shine of your foil, so you don't want that. So let me die cut this real quick, and we'll get ready to put our card together. Okay, there we go. So the only thing that we need to do, bring back in our card base, and we'll just use some glue to, excuse me, tape rather. Well, you could use glue, but I'm just going to use some tape to put this down. You can use any sort of, you don't really need this layer, but I like having that texture behind it. So any embossing folder that you have that's going to give you some texture, it'll work perfectly with this design. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this piece down, pull that release paper off. And we'll stick that down in the center. This is a really quick and easy card, but I think it looks like you spent a lot more time working on it than you actually did. Now we have one more foiling piece to do. How did I forget that? We need the sentiment. So we take these pieces off, and then we're going to bring in our sentiment, and we're going to do it the same way we did our holly, except we're going to put our sentiment down and make sure it's not upside down. And it is not. And then when you're doing this, you just want to kind of ignore the foil and make sure that this little plate is straight. And if you wanted to, you could cut this out on a scrap piece of paper and then trim it and add it to your card front. But I like the look of having it. I like the look of having it pressed right onto the front of the card. That's pretty. I like that. So let me get a piece of tape. As soon as I find where I put my tape runner. Yeah, there's. Okay. So again, the foil is facing the lettering. So in this instance, it's facing up, but it's actually going to be facing down when we put it onto the hot foil machine, because it'll go on the machine just the way the other one did. It'll be upside down. And so we'll just put that on there upside down and press our button and wait for that timer. Oh, you can't even see the timer. Let's see. Wait for that timer to finish flashing. And when that's done, we'll run it through our machine just like we did the last time. Same sandwich. There we go. We'll pull that back. We'll use that very same sandwich, and we'll run it through our embossing machine. Bring that back there. And there we go. And there is our sentiment. There, so we've got our sentiment on. I'm going to move this out again. Now we can put everything together. So we'll take this, get this out of the way, get some of the stuff cleaned up here. Okay, so we've got our card base all ready, set and ready to go. And we can add our panel piece on. And I'm just going to do that with some glue because it'll give me a little more leeway in putting that down onto foil. And when you're gluing onto foil, you want to make sure you use a really strong glue. Barely Art or Art Glitter are good ones to use. And so we'll put that down. Make sure it's straight. Oops. Moved it a little bit too much. There we go. And then we can put our bauble on. But what I do is kind of stick the bauble where I think it's going to go. Then I'll add some glue to the back of this. Just a little bit. And put that, so I know I want it to be right about there. So I'll just put that down there and let it be straight. And then I will glue the bow onto the top part of the bauble. So I only need glue on the bottom part, the ribbon part of the bow. And I'll glue that onto my bauble. Like that. And then I will add some foam squares to the back of this to add it to the card front. And these are large ones, so I won't need a lot of them, but a couple. Just enough to make sure that it's not going to buckle if I mail it, which most of my Christmas cards I do. I have a handful that I hand deliver, but most of them I mail. So just take the release paper off of that. We'll get these 3 pieces off. Oops. Just felt that ribbon move a little bit, and it did. Okay. And so then the only thing you need to worry about here is making sure that the string is in between the bow. And so here we go. So that is today's project. I hope that you like it. I do apologize for the delay in my machine heating up, but hopefully you got a tip or two and you did get a peek at some of the upcoming products that Lisa Horton Crafts has for September as Spellbinders. So I thank you so much for your time today. I hope that you like the card, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up and let other people know. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I hope that you will find a little bit of time to get some crafting in. And remember to live graciously, and we'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye for now.